Hey guys, welcome to Evolving Spiritually. My name is Kayla, and if this is your first time checking out my channel, hello and welcome. If you guys are returning, what's up? We are here for another intuitive session where I use my intuition and the cards to go beneath the surface to figure out what's going on energetically, but also help you find ways and solutions to move forward. So if you would like to check out more content from me, you can always head over to patreon.com/evolving into more. Over there, I upload 2 to 3 additional readings per week. If you guys would like to book a personal session like this one or any other kind of reading, you can head over to evolvingintomore.com. Getting into today's self-focus section, we do not have keywords and trigger statements, but we have two main things that we are touching on today. And the first message is revolving around the fact that we are made up of many different energies and emotions. Yeah. So the message for that says we are happy, we are sad, we are joyful, we are angry, we are excited, we are bored, and we are loving. Every human has the capacity for every feeling and emotion, but so often we choose to identify with one. Every day is a new day, and we never know what we are going to get. But that is the beauty of being human. We're like a mixed bag of emotions, never knowing what we will pull out. So the meditation for that message says, center yourself and notice what energies are inside of you. What emotions are here in this moment? What emotions stay and what emotions go? So digging a little deeper into that, this is understanding yourself. This is understanding your emotions. In some way, that part of people identifying mainly with one emotion all the time really pops out to me, because this is a constant state of change. Your emotions could be like a emotional roller coaster. It could go up and down. It has been going up and down. And maybe you're feeling like you need to show up and it needs to be or look or feel a certain way. But in reality, you're going to go through a million different emotions before you start to know and identify and feel what feels right and good for you. I feel like a lot of people in life beat themselves down because they just are afraid of accepting the truth about how they feel, think, or see something. When in reality, the easiest way to move through that energy is to acknowledge how you feel or what you think or what you believe it to be, and make a choice on how that fits or does not fit within your life or where you're headed. Right? I would be completely lying if I said I haven't had bad days. I don't have bad days. Now my bad days are definitely nothing compared to the BS that I dealt with in the past, right? Bad days here is like electricity going out or internet not working one day, like that's a bad day. But it's not to say that that stuff doesn't equally frustrate me, right? It is not denying that in that moment, like, oh, I need to stay positive all the time. That is not realistic. It's not realistic, because eventually you are numbing and avoiding true emotions. And that's that one state of being like, oh, I have to stay in a positive mindset. No, you get back on that positive mindset. You're going to drift off. You're going to have your moments where you may even lose your shit. It is okay. Take your moment, lose your shit, get it together. Know that you have a decision to make of if you're going to keep letting whatever this is that has affected your emotional state of being continue to affect it. You can keep choosing to let it affect you, or you can choose to not let it affect you by not giving anything to it. by choosing to go in a different direction. And that direction is peace, right? We even named off the emotion of boredom. We are bored. A lot of people, I've said it, I've been saying it since I've been here on this channel for the last 6 years. A lot of people are mistaking peace for boredom. You think you're bored. No, you're really at peace, and you just haven't been able to identify that in a very long time, that you're sitting here like, damn, what now? What now is a lot of space, time, and opportunity for you to figure out what you truly want. You may be feeling a lot. You may be going through a lot. You may be thinking a lot. There may be a lot going on around you or with the people who are connected to you. And yes, your emotions are going to go up, down, left, right, and everything around. But that's okay. Go on your little moment of tripping and then pull it together. And then come to this balance, this groundedness, this understanding of making it make sense for you and choosing the best way forward that would be beneficial to where you're headed, where you're heading, where you're going. Not anything that will set you back, right? You know, somebody may choose to piss me off today, but am I going to go, down to their level? No, right? The other day we went to the store. Well, it wasn't the other day. It was like a few weeks ago. But we went to the grocery store, and maybe it was because of how much we spent on groceries, the cashier didn't like it. So, at the beginning, it's all like, oh, hey, or, buenos dias, buenas tardes, small little conversation, rings up grocery receipts total, and then literally starts throwing our shit. Like, I've never seen anybody just throw our stuff off the belt. Like, it was literally throwing, like, eggs, everything. And it was just like, in this moment, I could choose to really just, like, tell you about yourself. And it is, a language barrier here in Mexico, but that doesn't mean that it's going to stop my Google Translate. I will say what I need to say. You will know that this is not a happy face by the way, it shows up. But that's what I'm saying. It could be little irritations. It doesn't have to be people or things from your past. It could be just random things that come up. And again, it's going to spark an emotion. At that point, I was over it. I was ready to just, check out, go home, and be done for the day. And then Miss Thane wanted to sit here and throw our biscuits and eggs and everything else because of, I don't know why. Well, yesterday we went out, and the guy who was our server at the restaurant, he was down. Like, you could tell his energy was just like, he must have been having a bad day prior to us getting there. But he also apologized too, and it's a clear distinction on who's just being ugly and who is truly just going through their own shit. And that is what I want to bring into this conversation. That is really why I told you that whole example, because there was a complete difference. Okay. Oh, girl, she was fine in the beginning, had a clear attitude by the end. So somewhere between the beginning and the end of checking us out, you got irritated. Okay. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. Attitude, not okay. This guy yesterday, energy came in slow. He wasn't rude. He wasn't disrespectful. He was just like, like, hi, But it was clear. So what I'm telling you is, if you get in your head and you feel like you are not allowed to experience or go through a certain emotion because somebody may take it wrong that you are experiencing a certain emotion, it's not blocking yourself from that. Like, I used to be that. I don't do that at all. And I'm loved for it, and I'm hated for it at the same time. If something irritates me, you better bet everything that I'm going to speak on it. I'm not going to sit on something that just completely rubs me the wrong way or makes me uncomfortable in my own environment. And this is you getting in a place of not downplaying yourself or your emotions because you're trying to maintain everyone else's around you. It is a way of, again, moving forward within that energy. Old me, the lady at the grocery store, would have pissed me off, and I would have been pissed off for the rest of the day. I probably would have had an attitude, and it would have been directed at everyone else around me. But old me didn't realize how ugly my emotions rubbed off on everyone else, because I was putting that out there. Because I made a choice, and the choice was I was going to I would have let that bother me all day, right? Now, more healed, wiser Kayla was just like, you know what? That's her problem. I don't know what her problem is, but it ain't my problem until she, fuck up my shit. But you go ahead, throw it. You go ahead and have your attitude, because at the end of the day, I'm going to walk out here with my groceries and you still going to be sitting there scanning them. So that's that. And again, it may not sound good, but it is the truth. Would I be that way? No, I wouldn't be that way with anyone, because I wouldn't want that done to me. But I understand, I know, and I accept that everybody is not me. You have to know, understand, and accept that everybody is not you. But it is also knowing, understanding when to speak up and let people know what it is and what it ain't when it comes to you. Because a lot of people set their own impression of your standards, of your boundaries, and they test it, they try to push it. And there's going to come a moment when you have to let people know again, like, no, that's not cool with me. I don't deal with that from anybody else. Like, you're not about to do it up in here. Okay. I've been doing that for a long while. Cheering in college at U of H really changed a lot in my life. And that was the first time I had coaches like literally cussing me out. Not just cussing, but like cussing at me, towards me. And I think one of them called me like a bitch one time, and it was just like, hold on. No, because my own parents don't even cuss at me like this. So you are not about to cuss at me like that, right? So yeah, I probably was one of those kids that just was like, oh my God, you're saying a cuss word. But it wasn't, it was like cussing at me, not just cussing in general. I'm a cusser, but I'm not cussing at people like belittling you. I'm just saying a cuss word, so it's one of those things that people are not handling you in the way that you deem necessary to be handled. It's a no. It's just like I told my peoples on Patreon yesterday. You have to look at what people are offering you and see how it makes you feel. If somebody, let's just say in a surface level example, says like, hey Kayla, I can nurture you and feed you. And I'm like, okay, I wouldn't mind somebody, nurturing me with food and feeding me. But if you can't cook, I'm not going to eat your food. And then I'm not going to sit here in front of you and lie and put on my best face and pretend like it's good just because you offered it. Again, it sounds rude and it may rub people some wrong way. But at the end of the day, I'm not eating nasty ass food just to make you feel better about yourself, because one, I'm not only cheating myself, but I'm cheating you, but by not being honest. Cooking would not be your avenue, boo. You have to see what people are putting out, aka cooking you, giving you, and if what they're serving you don't eat and you don't fuck with, why are you taking it? Why are you accepting it? Because again, we keep accepting things from people and then wondering why they don't change, wondering why they keep doing the same shit. Well, you keep accepting it. Okay? You give me some uncooked chicken and I keep being like, oh, sliding it off, giving it to the dog or throwing it in the trash, making you think that your chicken was good. You gonna keep making that chicken, aren't you? That's what you not only cheat yourself, but you cheat other people by not being real, because eventually that person gonna catch you throwing out their chicken. And then guess what? You gonna look like the ungrateful person instead of nipping things in the bud from the beginning and letting them know like this is not okay with me. Like this is not cool with me. Again, food was the example, but food being the emotion. What are people giving to you? I ended the last session here on YouTube saying that about like I've literally had to sit down and reassess friendships in my life and wondering like, well, what am I really getting from this? Because a lot of people are just getting a lot from me and I'm not getting much of anything in return. And yes, you do have to look at things like that because everything has to have a balance. You can't just be given and not get anything in return. I don't need people to be hitting me up and blowing me up when they're going through a midlife crisis, but then like 3 to 5 months of everything going good, like I don't even get a high. The sky is blue. Are you alive? Are you fine? Like, and then you pop back in a midlife crisis, and then I stop my life, and then like it's happened one too many times with one too many people. And it's an imbalance because it's a lack of acknowledgement on one person's end. You can't be giving to people and caring for people and interrupting and distracting your own life and your own path to help people who are not worried about you any other time that their grass is green and their sky is blue. So you are going to experience many emotions. You are going to possibly go through a feeling of thinking that you are selfish, and you may have people tell you that you're selfish in return. But you really have to get real with yourself and see where that selfishness is getting you. You don't think that there's plenty of people lined up to say that I'm selfish and self-centered because I chose me? Yes, I chose me over an unhealthy, uncompatible, unaffectionate marriage. Yeah. I chose me over parents who don't love, support, or care for me and would rather trade my life for money. You're right. Friendships who just wanted me to I don't know, be their therapist and stay low and down for the rest of my life so that they could, who knows? You see what I mean? The list can go on. But when I look at those people and when I look at what played out and what happened and where I am in my life, I'm still always going to choose me over that. Because again, when I lay out the pros and cons to what I was putting out versus what I was getting in return, those same people that's lined up to call me selfish and self-centered, again, were selfish and self-centered by thinking that I was not going to be who I am and where I am in this moment. Just like you had people who have doubted and underestimated that you would be where you are right now and that you were capable of getting to the places and spaces that you are now walking into. Those are the people that's going to call you selfish, self-centered, acting all Hollywood and brand new. And that comes about, again, because those are the same people who thought that you could not get there without them, that you could not do anything without them in one way or another. Or they thought that they would be there before you. Again, I don't really care what it is. But for you to not be cheering and supporting for someone who is cheering and supporting you means the math ain't mathing at the end of the day. And when the math don't math, that means a choice is not made in that direction. See, we're in a state of making choices and decisions that make sense, right? Where the math is mathing up in it, where it's equaling out at the end of the day. We're not dealing with change. We're not dealing with cents. We're dealing with the full dollar. Round me up. Thank you. So, people and things, yes, obviously are going to come up and it's going to try to irritate you and make you feel the complete opposite of how you've been feeling. And it's a lie and it's illusion. It's an illusion. That's what I mean. Like, going back to the example of the grocery lady, like her attitude just came out of nowhere. Like, ma'am. And in that moment, I did look at myself like, did I do something? Did I say something wrong? Did she say something that I didn't hear? Like, no. Even if she did, like, the attitude was unnecessary, you know? And for you to think that I'm going to give you attitude back, you're going to be waiting a very long time for that. Okay? I got a mouth on me. Believe me. I definitely got words for you. But I've grown and matured in such a beautiful way that I can handle you with a smile, you know? And I don't have to be ugly. I don't have to say ugly things. I don't have to cuss you out. I don't know. I'll just lay it out very black and white. And I'm realizing that really pisses people off more than anything. When you just lay it out, like when you put people in a place where, like, how you gonna argue with that? Because when you speak the truth, there's nothing to say. And when a person keeps wanting to deny the truth, then again, they're just left in that place. That lady gave us attitude thinking we were going to give her attitude back and be like, what, stop throwing our shit? No, ma'am. Throw it if you want to. You just messed up your tip. That's fine. We're going to get our shit and we're going to go on about our day. You're not about to mess up our day. And again, whatever she gets coming for that, she's going to get it. But we don't have to give it to her. Because, again, people just want to bring you down to a level of irritation and annoyance and frustration like they are in. So, feel how you feel. And then make a choice and a decision of how you're going to proceed forward after that in a way that serves you. Because anybody that brings problems to your doorsteps, that's their own problems. Surface level example, I know, but just like that, whoever this cashier is in your life that's been trying to throw your shit around, all because they cannot deal, function, and handle their own emotions, you got to leave them there. Just like I said, she wanted a reaction out of us and she didn't. So at the end of the day, we standing face to face and you're the one who all worked up and mad. I'm sitting here just waiting to pay, man. And that's what I'm saying. That's the shit that pisses people off. Because it's like, oh, you're not bothered? No, ma'am, no ham, no turkey, I'm not. Bothered for what? And then people have to look at themselves. And I bet she, in that moment when we walked off and said, gracias, thank you, have a great day, she was just like, what? You have not been giving people the responses and the reactions that they have been expecting. And yes, we're getting all this from one little message that we've been on for 20 minutes now. Because that's what it is. You got to understand that you've been going high and low with yourself, going through so many mixed emotions, when, again, it's been necessary because it's allowed you to be honest with yourself and see how you really feel up inside. And how people are really able to make you feel. But it has also let you know what you want to feel and what you don't want to feel. And you may not be able to completely identify something in the moment, but that feeling will let you know either it's a yes or a no. So, the second message here is the journey of transformation. Okay, so the message here says every step you have taken has led you to this moment, right here and right now. Take a moment to honor how far you have come. Realize that life is a constant state of being and becoming. It doesn't say being, it says life is a constant state of becoming. Taking steps blindly into the unknown and growing, sometimes without even realizing it. It's like the journey of a butterfly, beginning as a caterpillar and then becoming a chrysalis and then waiting patiently and growing until it is strong enough to turn into the beautiful butterfly that is always within. Okay, I like that because if y'all don't know, evolving spiritually emerged from a butterfly. The evolution, the constant evolution of a butterfly. And yeah, it brings you full circle, right? So I told you that because it brings you back from the beginning to the end. And again, everything comes into one, closes out, and you become more. And that is evolving spiritually. That is evolving into more. That's evolving into you. You've gone through stages and phases, and people, believe it or not, have watched through every one of them. From your caterpillar to your cocoon, and now to breaking out of it and spreading your wings. What's the Mariah Carey song? It's Butterfly, right? Spread your wings and prepare to fly. You'll become a butterfly. No. Okay, yeah. Butterfly by Mariah Carey. Anyways, it is you. You are coming out of your cocoon, and you are spreading them beautiful ass wings. Okay? And guess what? They're vibrant and they're beautiful. And wherever you fly the fuck around, people are going to notice, and they're going to look, and it's going to be a sense of amazement. And you walk with your head held extremely high. You know, Kaylee tells me almost every time that we go out, I really get in this place that I'm such an introvert that I don't really like being around people. I'm not social. I definitely don't like going out around big crowds and shit. But lately we've been out, okay? And I've just learned since being here in Mexico, just because I'm black and, I'm automatically getting attention, and it was new in the beginning of being here. But now I found a way to just block people out, and I literally just be in my zone, focusing on our little circle of things. But even yesterday, we went to the mall, and Kaylee was saying Mama, everybody in the store was looking at you. Everyone looks at you every time you walk anywhere. Everyone's eyes are on you. And it's just I hate that she points it out, because then I start getting in my head and feeling all types of ways, when it's just there's nothing to start getting self-conscious about. And I'm talking to you too. I'm using my example, but what I'm saying is to you. When you walk through rooms, when you walk through people, and you show up in a way that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel like you. Right? Another discussion we went deep into on Patreon last week was showing up how you want to be seen. And it's having that confidence. It's not to impress other people, but it's to feel good about you. I mentioned how we went to a mall that was extremely fancy. We did not know what we was getting ourselves into, okay? All right, we're walking into new territory out here, and we talking about it's money, okay? And I grew up in that type of environment, right? My mom was always taking me around Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, all of that, Burberry. So it's the bouginess, if you know what I'm talking about. And it stares and it looks from people looking and being oh, what you doing over here? You can't, you can't afford that. So I haven't felt that way in a very long time. But I wasn't feeling that way because I didn't feel like I could afford it. That was not the problem, and it's not the problem at all. It was how I was dressed in that moment. I was in workout clothes and leggings and a little top with some high socks and some sneakers on, And again, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but it showed me that I was not prepared to show up in that moment in a confident way. If I was going to Walmart or the grocery store, that would have been fine, right? But in this upscale shopping center, we looked very out of place. And that made me get in a place of not feeling confident, of feeling like I'm not showing up to my best ability, right? So again, it's not to get the message confused with me wanting to impress the people around me. I didn't care what they were thinking. I cared about how I felt in that moment, and I felt like I did not look up to par. And that does not sit well with me at this ripe age of 31 going into 32 this year, because I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm a professional. I run shit, and I don't want to show up and give the impression that I'm anything other than that, And so again, how I'm presented here is how I would want to be seen. But that day I was just slipping in that moment. But you know what? I took note, and I know the next time we go there, I'm going to be dressed appropriately. And again, and it's not about impressing other people. It's about being adaptable. You're walking into places and spaces that are going to require a transformation from you within. It's just understanding. I was in that mindset because where we just moved from, nobody dressed up. Like, we could go to the fanciest restaurant and we would still be overdressed in a nice fancy shirt and some jeans, right? So this new place and space and environment that we in is not that at all. Okay, this is not vacation, like just chill. This is like they get shit done here, and people are really making moves, and that is really a difference. But we like it because it's bringing out that more balanced side of us, getting out of our more comfortable laid back attire and getting more dressed up and feeling more put together. Again, it's a balance. I'm using, again, surface level materialistic examples, but you take that in any way that it applies, right? Me putting on certain attire to make myself feel like I'm showing up how I want to be seen could be you changing your lifestyle or changing your environment or your friends or your hobbies or your interests, and it reflects within who you are and people know you as these things. But another thing I touched on, and again, I would advise you to go listen to that reading on Patreon, is how you look at yourself. I felt like that because of how I saw myself. And again, if I'm feeling a certain way about myself, I'm going to do what I need to do in order to get in a balance within that. And that's what matters the most, is how you feel about you. There's going to be a moment that I may be in a situation like that and I'll be like, today I just don't care because I didn't have it in me. But it was one of those moments that kicked in that showed me like, hey, you need to bring a little more balance up into your flow and go. It is okay to rest. It is okay to have downtime. It is okay to dress down. But when are the moments that you really put on for you and show up for you just so that you feel good in those moments? I remember like a few years ago here on the channel, someone was like, you always dressing up and doing the most, and it's because you're trying to impress your twin flame. This was like at the beginning of my channel, right? And it was just like, no, like I genuinely just got dressed and like just did myself up every day because that's how I was raised and that's how, I carried myself, but now, like I said, I didn't got real comfortable just wearing a nice loose t-shirt and some nice jeans with some sneakers. And again, there's nothing wrong with it, but knowing it's a time and a place. That's what I'm saying. It's a time and it's a place for that. What I had on may have not been acceptable for that mall, but somewhere else, again, it would have been no problem. How do you want to show up in spaces and places that you're going into? Because again, somebody may hear my example and be like, well, I don't care. We are around, fancy, expensive things. I'm not dressing up. Okay, cool. I accept that. But you're not rolling with me. And I have the ability to say that. And that's what we have also been talking about in the last two readings. Again, it's just been said in a different instance. If people are not a reflection of you, you do not have to choose them and take them along with where you're going, because it's going to be obvious as day that they are not complementing your energy. If I say I want to go to this mall and dress up to par like this, and you saying like, no, I don't care, I'm just going to wear like, I don't know, some booty shorts and a tank top, then it's just like, no. Like, no. Because again, that is going to be a complete difference on how people respect you. And I feel like somebody would just want to tussle on what I'm saying. No, you should not be judged by how you look, but you gotta be realistic and know that people do it. And that's what I'm saying. In that moment, I felt like I looked young and maybe dumb in some way. And I'm not young or dumb. I'm young, but I'm not dumb, I'm not young in the way that people think that they can pull things over on me. But because you see me, in an oversized graphic tee, some leggings and some Nike sneakers, you may just think like, oh, she's still young. She don't know nothing about nothing. You will get bamboozled. And again, I feel like that's why I have been getting treated the way that I have been getting treated out here, because people think like, oh, she young, she don't know no better. No, ma'am. I run multi-businesses over here, okay? I done been through hell, like, again, things that don't have to be explained. But again, how do I want to be seen and taken seriously? And you have to look at yourself within that as well, because you have changed. And you gotta acknowledge that. You gotta understand that, because when these people start coming back around trying to tell you about yourself, it's because you're no longer who you used to be. And I'm not saying that, oh my God, you changed. Like, I have not changed as Kayla. And you can go back to my very first video on this channel and you can see. But you will see growth. Okay? That's the difference. I'm not a completely different person. Always Kayla, big Kayla, what's up? Welcome to Evolve Spiritual. That's me. How I talk, my slang, my vernacular, my, like, everything. That's me. That has not changed. Oh, but this wisdom, this mind, oh man, that's gotten stronger. Gotten as strong as the muscles on my arms. I'm trying to get them back. Do y'all see that? I still got it though. Stronger, wiser, can't pull the same old shit up over here. And you can see that again. Just like you can see mine, the people who know you can see yours. And that is the main reason why a lot of people is just pissed off, because it's just like, why have you grown and become more healthier and healed, and they're still bitter and angry about some shit that you are not even thinking twice on. Suge's over here too, y'all. He's a chug. He's a pug and chihuahua mix. He grabbed his paw. Okay, anyways, your meditation is take a moment today to reflect on how far that you have come. Realize that in every moment you are becoming who you were meant to be. Who you were meant to be. Again, some people may not like what that evolves into. And that is okay, because again, like, you really got to see how much people play into the making of your life. So we're gonna get into these cars. We just gonna slide up in it just like that. We're gonna slide into these cars and see what's going on. I'm looking for an overall past, present, and moving forward energy. So gonna force pull. I don't feel like having cards fly everywhere, and we're gonna float and go. Overall energy, wow, the lovers. So we are already touching on choices and decisions. I just had to choose the dark cards today. They do not complement my background. Okay, so the lovers, choices, decisions. What's for you? What's not for you? Who for you? Who not for you? Who loves you and who lusts you? It's a difference. It's the difference. People will claim they love you and they want you and they need you, but what are those reasons? For what? Why do you love me? And I don't want to hear like, oh, I don't even have the words. You better find some words, okay? If I had to sit down for 2 hours, I bet you I could spend every minute of those 2 hours writing a reason why I love my wife. And I guarantee you she could do the same. She would probably outdo me. But I would still try to outdo her. But it's just saying. Yes, it's that serious, Like Nivea, like, I can give you 25 reasons why I'm really in love with you. Okay, anyways. I don't know. Songs are coming. They're going. My energy is everywhere, but that's okay. Because that's what I'm saying. From our self-focus section, you're going to feel a lot of different things. I've been up. I've been down. I had an attitude. Now I'm good. Hi, I'm Kayla. And that's how it goes. But again, choices and decisions. And going back to the 25 reasons, like, people need to have legit reasons as to why they're doing what they're doing, including you. And that the answer to doing what you're doing does not have to be complex. It could simply be because that's what I feel within my soul and my intuition. That is what God has shown me. That is what I'm being pulled to. And that's all that it is. End of discussion. We're done over explaining, over sharing, and overdoing it. For people, again, who don't even take 5 seconds to explain nothing. But the lovers is also like choices and decisions in the sense of knowing what you're willing to accept in return. And just like I've been mentioning on Patreon, I don't care who it is. If you are doing something to me that I would not do to you, friend, family, foe, or stranger, it's not acceptable. And I'm going to, one, you know how there's that the saying, but I like when J. Cole says it, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, the peace sign, load the chopper and let it rain on you. Okay, we ain't doing none of that. But you get what I'm saying? By the 3rd time, you didn't really screwed up. You didn't really messed up. Now, the 1st time, shame on you. Okay, I'll give you that pass. Let me see. You didn't show me something that is a key player up in this situation. Okay, so I'm gonna pay attention to that. I'm gonna keep note. That's up over there, right? You do something the 2nd time, then it's my fault. I gotta take responsibility and accountability for giving you the space, the time, the opportunity to bamboozle me again. Okay, fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Okay, now fool me 3 times. Now, if I didn't made a choice to stop messing with you and you still doing something, oh, it's fair game at that point. Again, my fair game is not going low and getting eye to eye and evil to evil and, no. It's just really knowing what it is, calling it what it is, accepting it, and leaving it there. And that's what this is. Like, no, the 1st time, okay, all right, I didn't know no better. The 2nd time it happened, I knew better and I didn't choose better. So the 3rd time, I'm choosing better. And that 3rd time is really what's going to stick it to you. Because when somebody don't choose you no more and it's an indefinite response, there's no coming back from that. And that ties into our past and the people who we've had to turn our little backs away from and walk away. Oh, you think because life and reality done set in now that you can come back and recover and salvage things that you completely wrecked and didn't care to even see or acknowledge the aftermath of until now. Okay, so let's put that in really surface level terms in case we got any of those low vibrational people watching this reading right now. If you then showed up in somebody's city as a natural disaster, as a tornado or a hurricane, and you done destroyed they shit, and you didn't stick around to see the aftermath and help repair and replenish the city, don't come back around 4 years later after everybody then fixed everything back up and got it nicer than before, and you think you about to move your ass back in. You don't get to do that. Okay, maybe they're not the tornado, but let's say they're the reason for the tornado. Just go with the example. You get what I mean? If you gonna come up in somebody's place and cause chaos and destruction, and then you don't help clean it up, don't think that when the shit is all sparkly clean that you're gonna walk your little ass back up in here and have access denied at the door. Don't even open it. Knock knock, who is it? Oh, it's you. Oh, I'm not at home right now. I don't care if you do hear my voice. What you gonna do? Kick my door down? Kick my door down, and I'm gonna kick your ass. Again, fair game. People just don't think that it's a time and a place for certain things, and that's what people just need to understand about not only you, but just people like us in general. People think they can keep pushing this button, and it ain't never gonna turn nothing on. No. We just got more patience than the average Joe. We're just a little more understanding. But if you keep pushing that button, eventually something's gonna happen. And it ain't going to happen in the way that these people expect or think. It's not going to be in the way that they would. It's going to be in a way that they're not even going to be able to handle. So you got to understand, again, about the things and the people that you're choosing, and if it's creating balance or if it's creating an imbalance within your life. So in the past, you have judgment. Such a pretty card of a fly. Y'all, we got, like, I'm telling you, dollar store buy the toy type of flies out here, like size flies, and they just, I don't know, they're not just everywhere, but when you see them, it's just like, oh my god, their eyes is like real big and orange, and it's just like, you look like a fake little FBI fly. Probably is. We didn't call it birds on the roof. We didn't catch them, but we saw them. Birds on the roof with little tags on their legs. Oh, and then it was like, if you like call somebody and report it, they're gonna end up killing the bird because the bird knows how to escape, and it will encourage other birds to escape. And it was just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna let the bird be free. That's sad, but I don't know what that had to do with this, but just telling y'all, experience. Anyways, this fly, this judgment. Okay, well, maybe that did have something to do with it. All right, see, I do think that I just be talking sometimes, but it really do be about something. Analyzing, observing. What do you see? I just went into detail about a jumbo fly, right? I even tied it to the dollar store to let you know the type of little plastic big ass flies that I'm talking about. They're real life, okay? Those things are based off of real things. So why I'm telling you that and what message that has to say, something that you've seen, something that you witnessed that you may have felt like wasn't real, is about to show up as real in your life. I seen them flies before, but they was plastic and they was going for 99 cents at Dollar Tree. Okay. But reality has shown me that the idea to make them plastic big ass flies came from a real ass fly. So again, tie that together. My examples are off the wall, but this is how I be learning my lessons. So flow and go with me. Something you thought could not be real or was not real is turning out to be real. And within that, you have to make a choice about what you're going to do with that. The bird being tagged. Something. A bird. Birds. Messages. Watching. Hold on. This could be someone from the past watching you because of some sort of judgment. They made a judgment call in the past. But again, the bird and the brace on the legs then made us look into it. So there's something that somebody could be bringing towards you or bringing up to you that would make you look more into something. And the consequence for whatever you're looking into could be something that puts you in a hard place. Okay? Because like I said, the bird, we looked it up and it said that if you were to call and report the bird, they gonna tell the people whoever captured the bird, because they're tagged, and the number was 16, so that was a 7, and it was 2 7, so that's a 14, a 5, a change. Okay, anyways, whatever. If you call, they would capture the bird and they would kill it, because it would go back in with all the other birds that they didn't capture for Lord knows what, and pretty much teach them how to escape. Right? And then that just messes up business for whatever I don't know what they're doing. So we just made a decision. We just not going to make no decision. We not playing no part into this. Okay? We're going to let the bird be free. Feel sorry that it's been caged, locked up, and controlled. But it has to find its own way of survival. So somebody may try to put you in a situation. Somebody just may fly their little birdie ass up on your house, up on your roof, and again put you in a situation, or try to put you in their situation that comes with serious consequences. And you may have to make a decision on what you're going to do. And that's where I was going with this Lovers before I pulled the Judgment card, where I was going to say that you got to know that some things balance out. It's like when you watch movies and like people get away with killing someone because it's in self-defense, but like let's just say, like, realistically, if somebody was like coming in here trying to kill you and then you ended up killing them first, like, that's out of self-defense, you know, so God's not looking at you as a murderer, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, that was an extreme example, but some people even get caught up on like speaking a truth to someone. Like they don't even want to, like, this person that you dealt with doesn't mind doing all these like things that are hurtful to you or to other people, but you are still scared or timid to just be honest with them or about what they have done to you. And maybe that was a past energy. Maybe you're not in that energy anymore, but it's no longer tiptoeing around anything or anyone, but also being on like your P's and Q's and being on guard. Okay. It's just like I told Janae yesterday, like if I were to see anyone that I knew where we're living right now, like, I'm fighting you, like, I'm beating your ass, because one, there's no way that I should be running into anybody from my past where I'm like, no one even knows where I'm at, you know? And that's the thing. So if I do see anybody, like, oh, we fighting on spot. Like, I'm not being calm. You're not getting calm, cool. No, like, you've crossed the boundary. I moved away from everybody because I want to be away from everybody, you know? And you crossing the line and coming to find me when I have made it clear that I do not want to be found warrants an ass whooping. Right? And now some people will be like, Kayla, but you're spiritual and you shouldn't be fighting. That's not an eye for an eye. That's, again, asserting a boundary of like being left alone. And if you push past that boundary and disrespect it, then you get the consequences that come with that. And again, people who are for you, they respect it. And then people who are not will try to do everything in their power to disrespect that boundary, to push you to see if you're going to do what you're going to do. And that's what I'm saying. If you, yeah, I've grown and I've healed a lot. But if you think that I'm not going to go ape shit crazy on you, if you show up after I've told you I don't want nothing to do with you, you're wrong. Right? It's like the girl, like, I don't even know how to pronounce your name, but I hope that you're watching this video, because there's a girl that I blocked on my Instagram a few months ago, like blocked her in every way that I could because she's disrespectful to me in my relationship and my wife, and that is not okay. I've blocked her on multiple things, and now she's just emailing everything that she can find. Stop it. You're not ever going to get a good positive response from me. Again, that's my boundary. Start setting your boundaries with people. And when people cross those boundaries, there's a no play zone. We can laugh, we can kiki, we can relate in these videos all fucking day, but when it comes to real life and you cross boundaries that I have set and made clear, do not do, you're going to get this side of Kayla. And nobody likes this side of Kayla. You know, being direct and honest and caring is one thing, but blunt and a bitch is not it. And I guarantee you that's something I have down like it's nothing. But that's my balance. And that's what I'm saying. That's the balance that you have grown and evolved into. Don't think that I don't have no bad attitude. Don't think that I can't go off on somebody, because I can. I just choose not to. I know when it's a time and a place. I know when a person is deserving of it, and I know when to not give it no energy. But again, the moments that I do go off on people are unexpected, because somebody thinks that they're going to like purposely irritate me in that moment and I'm gonna go off. No, I'll go off 2 moments after that, when you thought that, oh, she just ain't gonna say nothing. Again, I'll say something like this, with the kindness and sweetness in my voice, that will just make you hush. In some way, in some fashion, you have that ability within you as well, right? So you get to make the judgment call this time around the past, around this person, around these choices and these people, right? Because in the present, you have the 7 of Pentacles waiting. Who's trying to slow you down, and for what reason? The only people that try to slow you down in life is the people who not doing the work to keep up. And again, what benefit is that doing in my life? If I'm sitting here studying and doing all the work in this group, you think I'm about to keep choosing you to be in my group? No. Again, you got to have a balance and a function within things. Discussions that we talked about in our last sessions, when we spoke on relationships and needing to not identify gender roles within a relationship. I don't care what your gender is. And yeah, you can say this is Kayla's gay talk. It's not even a gay thing. It's take your fucking genders out of your relationships, and people do what they can do and contribute in the way that they can contribute. Again, I'm the more masculine person in my same-sex relationship. I do not appear as the masculine, but I'm the one who does the technical, plan the trips, pay the bills, budget, do this, do that. Janae is the one to make sure we got enough towels and the clothes are clean and everything. Like, she's the mama bear, the papa bear. Again, I just put it in a gender then, but that's again where it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter who is who. It's what can you contribute? What does that show up as? How does that bring in a balance? Even before being married to a woman, my ex-husband, he cleaned and I cooked, right? Where some people would be like, a man shouldn't be doing either one of those. Oh, okay. Okay, well, he wasn't bringing in the money, so he had to balance it out some kind of way, right? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, you gotta see what people bring to the table. And I'm not even talking about money. Like, I'm just saying, how do people add on to your foundation, to your stability, to your balance, and how do they take away from it? Because again, are people offering you things that you don't need? And you're going to need different things in different seasons of your life. At that point in my first marriage, like, I really didn't need him to clean. I needed him to just make sure we had enough money to be financially stable and keep a roof over our head. And now I'm not in a place like that because I've created my own, right? So I'm not looking for money from anyone else. I don't need that. I need somebody to genuinely love me and partner with me in life, and don't want to wake up and create weird shit and do different things and trust our intuition and praise God and be grateful for it all. That's, you have to get clear on what it is that you're going to choose and what you're not. I don't need somebody that feel like they got to prove themselves, that feel like they got to buy me, or they got to do this or they got to do that because they see me up here doing this and doing, like, no, it's real chill up over here. It's very normal. I carry myself very well, but I'm pretty simple. Like, I like simple things. I like the little things. And that's what I mean. People want to come left and right and try to impress you in different kind of ways that end up pushing you more away, and you have to be real with how that makes you feel. It's not saying that person is not a good person, or they're just not your person. I have never sat up here and talked down about my ex-husband outside of the lack of him showing up for his own child and her being abused, by his own family. That's the downfall. But I've never really had anything negative to say, because again, he is a completely different person from me, and I accept him for that. But I just know that us mixing together is like water and oil. But that doesn't make him a bad person. He just wasn't my person, right? I'm not a bad person because I like different things than other people. I'm just a different person. And that is something that I'm going to speak on in a separate series, a separate video. But there's a lot going on lately around religious people speaking on spiritual people. And it's just like, y'all, we stay in our corner and we mind our business. And like people like that go out of their way to like make us the topic of conversation. Like nobody is sitting here talking about y'all. Like nobody cares. We're not sitting here belittling and saying we're better than y'all because y'all still like, no, if that is the path that you have to walk and go through in order to get to know God for yourself, then that is your path and nobody's judging. But for people to go out of their way and make what we do a problem because they don't understand it and they don't want to accept, the truths of what things really are, then okay. I'm not going to sit here and argue with people, again, who are blindly following a religion and a faith that was given to them off of some shit that wasn't even for them. And again, if we're in 2023 and you're a grown ass adult and you really can't see that, then that's fine. Then we're just not in alignment. And I don't want to be stuck in that place or feeling like I have to convince somebody. Like I'm not doing that anymore. Either you with it or you don't. Either you get it or you don't. You're gonna suffocate Callie. Y'all crazy. They crazy. And that's what I'm saying. People go out of their way to try to irritate you and bring something out of you. But when you know you and you know your truth of things, it really doesn't matter. Because when I saw that video of that like, come on, y'all. Now, see, I'm not Kayla. Because again, it's very easy to just speak the truth to people and let them know what is right in front of them and what is very obvious to the eye. Like, girl, hush. Again, but don't nobody be messing. We don't be messing with these people is what I'm saying. And religious people, family, friends, these people who have been coming against you is what I mean. You've been staying in your corner, and that was the perfect example of how you can be doing you, and because somebody else can't get with it, don't understand it, don't like how it look, and don't like how you're growing in it, will just make it a problem. There's a woman I know who literally has had an issue with me every day of her life for the last 6 years over, again, a person that I'm not even in communication with no more. Was never even like that, She's literally still bothered to this day, to the point where, people are letting me know, like, she's posting this and saying this, and it's just like, again, I'm not going to feel no way about it because I don't identify it with. When people have you fucked up, let them have you fucked up. Never have I ever come up here and identified myself as a witch. Never have I ever, said that I don't believe in God. And like, no, if anything, people are mad at me because I sit up here and I say God instead of the universe and spirit. When I don't care what you label it, it's the same thing. And that's the closed-minded minds that I want to stay away from. Someone that is like, it's thanking God, not the universe and not spirit. Like, if you cannot put two and two together and know that they are one and the same, and you're literally separating them by labels, you're just somebody that I don't want to deal with, because there's too many dead brain cells that I'm gonna have trying to understand where you're coming from. Some things is common sense, and I get that, like, common sense ain't common for everybody, but a lot of shit just don't need to be explained. Let people just see it for themselves. Because again, that is the main reason a lot of people are stuck where they are in life right now, because they've been so busy up judging you and your choices and your goddamn decisions, feeling like, oh, you're deemed to go to hell. Okay. And now that you're not in hell and God is actually blessing you in ways beyond they have ever been blessed and have favor in their life, now they're sitting here and now they're contemplating themselves. Again, I can tell you multiple stories. I have an ex-best friend that probably still to this day feels like I'm not deserving of the marriage and the love that I have because I'm gay. And it's just like, okay, but at the end of the day, I am truly and authentically in a healthy marriage with true connection, true love, and true commitment. And yes, it's gay. And yes, you may feel like it's sin. But again, if people cannot see things for themselves instead of what they want to make them, that's just, they're going to see everything the same way. You know? Can I attest to every lesbian relationship and say it's going to be healthy and happy? No, absolutely not. There are some trash ass women out there just like there are men. I don't care what gender you are. I don't have no bias against nobody. I just fell in love with my lady, you know? And so that's what I mean. Don't let somebody tell you your shit is not going to thrive, grow, and become more because they can't see the vision for it. They can't see how it would go based off of what they know. Yeah, y'all might have met some wishy-washy, back and forth, incompatible lesbians, you know, but we not it. And then people get mad when you show your life, right? And again, this plays a part into you too. I'm not just sitting up here talking about me. I'm speaking about you through me because we are one and the same if you're resonating with my messages. So no, the details may not be the same, but how people is seeing and thinking, very, very similar. So no, you may not be in a lesbian marriage like me, but there's something that is non-traditional about you within your life, within your circle, within your dynamic, and people are feeling like that's not gonna work. Okay, because the people who are not bothered about me being with a woman are bothered by me reading cards and being into spirituality. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Some people love my curly hair and some people hate it. Again, you think I'm about to go around and confuse myself and go away from what is truly resonant with me to make other people feel better temporarily? These people don't see me every day. They don't got to deal with me every day. Right? From people on the screen to my parents and everybody else who got their panties all up in a wad over little old me. Don't none of y'all talk to me on the daily. You don't see me on the daily. None of y'all done talk to me in at least 2.5 years. So let's just be clear. When people done have clear time apart for you, you can call things out like that. Don't nobody know what's going on with me. Nobody's been knowing what's going on about me. So if anybody been speaking on me, they've been making that shit up and they've been assuming. Because I ain't talked to not nobody outside of my wife, my daughter, and the people I've met in Mexico for the last 2.5 years. And if people don't know what's going on with you, let them say whatever they want to say. Let them spread lies. Let them, again, make their choices. Because they're going to have to sit in them when it proves to not be what they thought that they was going to get. I've been off of social media, off of like Instagram for the last, 3 or 4 weeks. And I didn't heard the craziest things about what could be going on with me. Like, what? Like, no, I just don't. I'm not in an Instagram mood right now. I haven't been doing much to show. I have been literally just living my life, getting my life back in order, trying to get this empty ass apartment furnished because we've been sitting on the floor for over a month, you know? So like, that's what I've been doing. I've been busy. I've been making real moves, you know? But when you go MIA, when people don't know what's going on with you and they're assuming, you know, you'll hear everything like, oh, Kayla and Janae are not together. Like, what? Kayla and Janae? What? No problem. Because y'all ain't seen another conversations with K and J. No, Kayla and Janae been sitting here trying to get this house in order so that we can sit our asses comfortably and make content in our own space, you know? But again, there I go explaining things that don't need to be explained. But it's to point out and tell you, when you know the truth about you, you let people say what they have to say, because when the truth reveals itself, then people will have to stand on what they didn't put out. Everybody was like, oh, Kayla and Janae are not together anymore. Like, okay, well, when y'all see us in our next conversations in K&J and ain't nothing changed or shifted in our dynamic, because literally, I don't know where that would come from, you know, then you just gonna sit there and be mad. Tough titty baby ain't got no milk. Like, people mad you're not giving them what they want. I'm sorry that I'm not having the problems that people want me to have in life. I'm sorry that my problem at the end of the day is like needing a new couch and not sitting on the floor no more. Problem resolved. Look at God. People mad because your problems are this big and their problems is like out of this world. But again, when your problems was out of this world, where were these people? Bragging about these small ass little problems and bragging about their big ass blessings, right? People wanna praise and, you know, be like, wanna flash off shit that you can obviously see that was not really a blessing in the way that you thought. Like, you're showing off money that you scammed, like that you lied to get, and you think God blessed you with that. The devil blesses just like God does too. But the devil takes his shit back, because what's the devil's is not even the devil's, it's still God's. Give me that shit. And that's why a lot of people are sitting here stuck looking at you like you're headed towards the train of prosperity, and they're headed towards poverty. But you know why that's happening? Because when you were stuck and you didn't know what was coming up, you didn't know what lied ahead, and these people were making choices to make it even more difficult. I'm telling you, this judgment card is saying a lot, and it's saying a lot because there are people who knew that they had a choice of making things easier for you or harder. And a lot of people chose to make them harder because they wanted you to stay stuck, because they liked how it felt when you had little to nothing and they had a lot. And just like I mentioned in the last reading, God is watching all of that. God has been watching. And these people could not handle you when you had nothing. They definitely cannot handle you when you will have and acquire everything. I'm stressing to you that whoever this is or whatever this is that's about to come back around wanted and still wants you to this day to sit your ass down and be stuck. Why? Because they want what you have. They want your life. They want to be you. And again, I don't care about no gender, because yes, a man could want to be like a woman. I've had it plenty of times. Men intimidated by me, little old me. But I get it, because I very much balance feminine and masculine energy. And it doesn't matter, again, if you're a man or a female or anything in between. We all balance masculine and feminine energy. It shows up differently. I just had a private reading where someone asked about, like, how do they embrace their masculinity more as a female? And I told them the perfect example of masculinity within femininity is a Judge Judy. Okay. Again, small example, but if you think about it, Judge Judy, she's feminine. She appears feminine. She has the femininity to her, you know, in the beginning, and she's, you know, she starts off real calm, cool, and collective. But by the time you get through that shit and she say what she needs to say, she ain't playing. She putting that shit right in order. She telling you what it is and what it ain't, and you gonna deal with the consequences that come from it, and then be done. And you think Judge Judy getting off that stand and going backstage and still tripping over it? No. She's saying what she got to say. She's making her judgment call, and she's moving the fuck on. So, take it from a Libra, right? People think that, like, oh, Kayla just like, if I've had to walk away from you, believe me, I've probably died in the process of doing it. Because it takes a lot for me to even connect and attach to a person. So to have to move away from it was a lot. But people see me as this Libra who can turn it on and turn it off. And that's, again, where people don't realize that, like, we still have emotions. Just because I ain't spoke to you in the last 2.5 years doesn't mean that I have not thought about it. I have not felt it. I have not remembered it, you know? We not heartless. We just not dumb. I ain't forget you. I just remember what you did. You know, like it's that. So yes, at the end of the day, you know, I will be warm and welcoming. But I'm also let you know, like, you know what, that's not cool. And if you keep doing it, then that's on you. Then you just gonna be left there with it. And a lot of you are leaving people right where they are, right where they've been stuck. Moving forward, the Eight of Wands. Look at that. Flying the fuck away. Dodging bullets. So, with this bird and these arrows, it makes me wonder, if someone is trying to put a target onto you. And I don't mean like nothing like fear tactic target. I don't mean if you had a bounty or something on your head and you've been had it, and again, still nothing that you got to worry about because we already know how this go. These people have been trying for years to get to you and they have not. So that's just something that, again, you should be able to rest assured in. I sleep very peacefully at night knowing that I have God's favor over my life, and that, again, the murderer could be across the street watching me through a telescope, and good luck. So that's a whole nother level of faith that I have unlocked recently, and yeah, I'm there, and it feels amazing. Because again, to some people it's cockiness and it's overconfidence. It's just, no, I know the God that I serve. I know the faith that I stand on. And even if it is my time to go, then believe me, it would still be leaving a heavy mark and impression in a way that would still be worth it. So that's just how you have to be. Like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. And every time that a person thinks that they're hurting you, they're hurting themselves, and they're actually helping you. So you got to embrace it, and you got to just keep moving forward. Let people say and do what they want to do. But again, how is that going to affect you moving forward? How many cashiers want to come in your life and throw your hard-earned shit around that you just bought? Right? Because all these people from your past do, they want to come up in your present and play around with your shit, fuck your shit up. Again, are you just gonna let them? Are you gonna say something? Is it even a moment of saying anything? You say something when you have to keep dealing with a person. But if you, again, when you don't have to deal with nobody, you just let them be. That lady at the grocery store, I don't have to see her ever again. So she wasn't even worth my time and my energy. You go on about your day. You gonna get it back in your own way. But yes, to a person that I have to see every day or have to deal with and work or any sort of, like, yes, I'm gonna let you know what it is and what it ain't. So don't be afraid to communicate. And don't be afraid to move forward on that communication. Again, like Judge Judy, she say what she need to say. She make her judgment and she stand on it and she moves the fuck on. I said, I ain't dealing with you no more. I'm not fucking with you no more. I'm not giving you no energy. I'm not going back and forth. I'm not doing it no more. Done. Moving forward. I made that choice 2.5 years ago. I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm not being in nobody's drama. I'm not listening to nobody's gossip. I'm not being a part of any sort of dysfunction. And I have not. And if I have, it's been because I put myself in that dysfunction. And I've kept it kicking and kept it moving. And you have too. And people are mad because you're not stuck in their shit with them. There's other people stuck with these past people who have betrayed you. And now they want everybody to just go down. No. You did it. Y'all did it. Y'all gonna be held accountable for it and deal with the consequences of it. And I'm gonna move forward in my life and not feel bad. Feel bad for what? Feel bad for a person, again, who didn't mind setting you up and trying to stop you in life. Again, who do you think you are? God? Because you're not. You will never be. I know I'm not God. I know I will never be God. Not in the sense of controlling and having power over life. And people's like, no, you can't sit up here and think you can control someone's destiny and fate all because of how you feel one day. You know, it's just like some people don't get that. It makes me think of that TikTok I seen a while ago where it was a white woman saying that she realized her own racism because a black woman at her job got like a promotion or something, and it immediately like struck a nerve with her without her realizing like this woman had more credentials and like degrees and things. Like, she was deserving. She literally worked day and night and her ass off, and she had to step her ass back and remind herself of that again. Like, that was a racist thing, but I feel like racist examples can give us a lot of perspective into seeing things in a non-black and white way, or in a black and white way. But yeah, I feel like that was the perfect way to break this down. Like, again, it doesn't matter what color you are. I'm saying in this sense, like the woman was pointing out, like, her whiteness immediately made her feel like, what is this black woman doing getting a higher position than me? And then she had to sit back and remember, like, oh, she got more degrees than me. Has more credentials. Like, she literally works harder than I do, so she is deserving. And that's what these people have to come into an acceptance with you. Okay? Again, take the race out. Use the example and the analogy of someone looking at you and feeling like, I don't know who the fuck they think they are, but I don't know why they think that they should have more or better in life because of A, B, C, D, E. Again, I'm not just talking about, there's black people that hate me just as much. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter about the face, it doesn't matter about the gender, it doesn't matter about the race. It's about the issue at hand. And somebody is looking at you and feeling like something within you or on you or having to do with you is less than them. And that's the problem, because again, I don't look at the next person like they're any less than me. We are all uniquely different. We just have different stories and timelines and like what we are going through and experiencing. But I don't ever look at anybody like, oh, you're less than me, or like, no, I'm just different. I'm just me. I stand out because I'm me, not because I'm better than you. Like, no, but some people they don't see it in that way. So some people are looking at you like, who does she think she is? Front and center, making it all about her, speaking her mind, expressing her emotions, and doing what she want to do in life. And I'm sitting here, at this job I hate, dealing with people that I can't stand, and whatever the fuck the issue is for them. Again, that's your own problem. Just like I was giving the example about the mall. If you feel like because I want to go to the mall dressed up and you don't, that I think I'm better than you, then again, that's your own problem. No, I want to feel good about myself. If you feel like I think I'm better than you because I come on my readings dressed up and put together, then that's a you problem. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to go look back at videos where I look busted and ugly and knowing that I could have done better. Been there, done it. Okay? I used to show up every day on this channel. And it didn't matter if I was about to walk into a funeral. I literally have done readings in cars everywhere. I've been there, done that. And it showed up without makeup, without getting dressed up. And again, that's not the point. But I'm saying for me, when I go look back at shit like that, I'm like, now come on now. I could have brushed my hair. I could have did something. No, I'm never just looking a mess, Even my down is good. But you know how we feel about ourselves. Being in a place where you feel good about yourself, whether that's physically, it needs to be physically, mentally, emotionally, it needs to be all in one. And when you realize something is all balanced, that's what I mean. I don't need to work on my confidence within. I'm very confident. It doesn't matter what clothes I have on, you still gonna get this confidence. Okay? But it's an imbalance because the outside of me was not reflecting the inside of me. And the inside of me feels very proud and accomplished to be who I am. And the outside was reflecting like, I don't really care too much today. Right? Hopefully y'all understand my crazy analogies. But that just made perfect sense to me. Because again, we were seeing people who, again, they didn't even have like bags where they went shopping. It was how they presented themselves that let us know like, oh, no, you got money. They are architect or they in real estate or something. It's that. Okay? It matters. It matters. And to use maybe an example that we all know right now, if you've watched Love is Blind, damn, I don't know his name. The lawyer dude, I don't think his name is Zach. I don't know his name. The lawyer dude that ended up with Bliss. Exactly. You see him? And you think that when people first see him, they think that he's a lawyer. Maybe now he's starting to grow into a little more scruffiness, and but in the beginning of Love Is Blind, you looked at him and you're like, a lawyer. And then you're like, if he is a lawyer, he's like a jerk off lawyer, or like not so serious. But then you got to know him and you're like, oh, I personally, I liked him. I thought he was a pretty cool dude. Okay, people make mistakes, they make the wrong choices, but he turned around and corrected his mistakes. So that's all I gotta say on that. But that was the point I was trying to prove, is he's a lawyer and has his life together, but how he was like showing up and how people were seeing him, it didn't match. Okay, he did not initially look like a lawyer. He looked like he played video games and just like, again, didn't take much serious in life. And he's a whole ass lawyer, been through law school and everything else. Okay, it's just that, how do you want to be seen? How do you want people to receive you and take you and treat you? But it also most importantly matters of how you see yourself. All right, so I'm closing this out. I talked way too damn long. We damn near have a 2-hour reading, but yeah, thank you guys for vibing out. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great, beautiful day and week, and I will talk to you guys in our next session. Bye.